We have a polynomial function right here, and it is already factored for us. That's very nice of them. And they're asking us what are the zeros and to give the multiplicities of the zeros. And once you know the multiplicity, you're going to state whether the graph crosses or it bounces. So first thing we want to do is let's take this and set it equal to 0. And if you do that, then you can see what would x be to give you 0. All right, so right here, what would I have to plug in to get a 0? -8. And if I did that, this would be 0. And 0 times anything is 0. Now what would I have to plug in right here to get a 0? And that's going to be the opposite of 5, -5. And if I did that, this term would be 0. 0 squared times anything is 0. So we have our zeros here. Okay, our zeros are -8 and -5. And now we need to tell the multiplicity. Multiplicity of each 0. Okay, so the smallest 0 is right here, is -8. When you go to find the multiplicity, you're saying how many times did this factor happen? And it happened only once. So the multiplicity of -8 is 1. And the multiplicity of -5, you're saying how many times did x plus 5 happen? And the answer to that is 2. So the multiplicity of -5 is 2. All right, and they're going to refer to this as the smallest 0 because -8 is smaller than -5. And this is going to be the largest 0. Remember, largest is what's to the right on the number line. Smallest is what's to the left on the number line. All right, the last thing they want to know is what happens at that 0. Okay, so the graph is going to cross at -8 and -5. And if you have an even multiplicity, let's get green. If you have an even multiplicity, like 2, then it is going to bounce. Okay, or as they say, touch and turn around. If you have an odd multiplicity, like 1 or 3 or 5, it will cross. Okay, and I'm going to sketch a little bit of what this over here. I'm just going to sketch what this looks like so you can see the zeros, the crossing, and the bouncing. And when you sketch the graph, this is a rough sketch of the graph right here, you can see that it crosses through at -8, where the multiplicity is 1, and it touches and turns around. So it actually touches 0, but then turns around. It does not cross through to the other side.